The Great Mouse Detective was released in 1986 and was directed by Ron Clements, John Musker, Bernie Mattinson, and Dave Michner, and is the 26th Disney animated feature film based on the book series Basil Baker Street by Eve Titus. The film follows Basil, the rodent Sherlock Holmes, as he investigates the kidnapping of a toy maker and uncovers its link to his arch-enemy, Professor Ratigan. We are nearing the very beginning of the Disney Renaissance, and The Great Mouse Detective is an extremely important film to get to that point. Set at the very tail end of what some will call the Dark Age of Disney, or as I will call it, the Transitional Era, this was a tumultuous time for Disney as they were seeing not really the box office success that they had seen in previous eras, and some of their films were not up to snuff critically either. However, The Great Mouse Detective was both a success, both critically and financially, and especially after the problems that came around with The Black Cauldron, this was a well-deserved film to finally get the wheels turning for the Disney Renaissance. The Great Mouse Detective is not a film that I grew up with, but I know a lot of people that did grow up with this film and have fond memories of it when they were children. And sitting back watching this film, I got this sense of fun and adventure, and I definitely believe that if I had watched this as a kid, it would really be one of my favorites, and I might even like it more if I did watch this as a kid. But as it stands, The Great Mouse Detective is a fun adventure for families, and especially for children, that really focuses on a fun little mystery that isn't too complex to solve, really, but is fun nonetheless, with some great fun characters, beautiful animation, and some really dark moments as well. I was actually surprised watching this film, seeing some of those darker elements come into play, specifically set around the villain Ratigan, which is when the film reaches some of its darker moments. But the animation as well is also a little more brooding, and you get that dark London fog kind of aesthetic that we see present in similar Sherlock Holmes stories. This is the London of Sherlock Holmes, and Basil is our Sherlock Holmes throughout this story, and it's overall extremely fun to watch. And we see things throughout, such as the fun characterizations, the action, and then that climax at the very end of the film is extremely thrilling, and we will get into that climax a little bit later. But I do want to discuss some of the things that I really love. I really love the characters and the camaraderie between them. Basil, in particular, is a very fun, energetic protagonist who is very likable, also a little snarky, and can be kind of annoying because he is pompous in a lot of ways, and I think you see a change throughout the film as his character becomes more loving, especially towards the person that he is trying to help throughout this entire investigation. But the film really shines, I think, when Professor Ratigan is on screen, played wonderfully by Vincent Price. This is a towering, giant rat who gets his own song throughout the film. The only song that is present in this entire film. The Ratigan song is phenomenal. It's energetic, it's fun, and there's just so much energy to it. Though it is only one song, it is a complete scene stealer in this film. And Ratigan is just a fun, deliciously evil villain that only Vincent Price could have done this role in this particular way. And it's such a memorable villain because of that. The film overall just has a really good mood to it. As I mentioned previously, you get that London fog. You get some of the darker, seedier underbelliness of the time period, and the animation is darker and not as vibrant. And I think that really works. It reminds me a lot of the animation style with The Rescuers, because that film was a much darker film, also dealing with mice, interestingly enough, now that I think about it. But you do get just a sense of doom and gloom throughout it. But the film is also just so energetic and fun that it blends those two into something that I think really does work on its own. Now, the climax in particular is the one reason I think anybody should watch this film. If you are interested in watching all of the Disney animated feature films, then this is the reason you watch it. On top of just it being a fun film overall, the animation that is on display at the very end of this film, as Ratigan and Basil duke it out inside the Big Ben clock tower, this is such a great scene with a really great use of CGI. Early CGI for the Disney animation team, which had previously used CGI in The Black Cauldron, which I thought was really well utilized there. However, you get to see more scale here when it comes to it. The large cogs as they are twisting and turning, and the energy that you experience during this scene and the fast-paced chase that Ratigan goes through is phenomenal to watch. It's a really great action scene to end this film on, and it's so memorable. This is one of the reasons you should watch The Great Mouse Detective, for that thrilling third act. It is so much fun and so energetic. The entire film is just filled with so much fun and heart, and sadly, it isn't one of Disney's greatest achievements. But you can see this film as a stepping stone, especially for directors Musker and Clements, who would go on to direct some of the best Disney animated feature films, such as The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, Treasure Planet, Princess and the Frog, and Moana. All films that are extremely ambitious and have a real sense of adventure to them. And it really starts here. And you can really see how the ideas present in this film are present in all of their other work. They're just so good at action and adventure and the sense of wonder and lovable characters all the same. I really do admire this film a lot. It's not one of my favorites, but it is one that I can see myself putting on and having a fun time. I think this is a great film to show young kids. I think families can all enjoy it, and it's just a fun ride from beginning to end. So, with all of that said, I'm going to give The Great Mouse Detective a 7 out of 10. This is a really fun film. I had a lot of fun watching this, from its amazing animation to the great CGI climax and Ratigan himself and that song. All of it is just very memorable and will stick in your head even after the film is over. But that is all I've got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this pretty quick review of The Great Mouse Detective. I think it's a film that if you have not seen, you really should check it out. It is a blast to watch. You will have a good time. I guarantee it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And stay positive.